Hey, here we are. All new streaming thing where we've got bodies to connect with our our AI generated voices here. So good day everyone. I'm Chris, and we have Charlie,
Hey guys.
and we also have Sam. Sam,
Hi,
say hello.
here I am.
And we're missing someone today.
Howdy.
We're missing someone today, unfortunately. I think due to bad internet. So Fraser is not here. It's not true that he just didn't want to show his face on the stream. He does have some technical difficulties. Hopefully he'll join us in the chat. Maybe I'm not too sure, but anyway, so here we are. So welcome, guys. What have you been up to?
A lot, really. Same as per usual every week. Busy with the project I'm working on for my client over in Canada and getting deep into designing another game with some friends. So really layered deep in the development thought process currently.
What are we doing in Canada again? Just remind us.
It's a IO-based game, so in your web browser, and the guy wants sort of a 10 player PvP and PvE 2.5D battler. So it's like a pixel art like arena setup, and I'm doing all pretty much the gameplay mechanics. So all the special moves, the movement, fighting, yeah.
Nice, fantastic.
Yeah.
And that's in Unity, I'm assuming?
That one's in Unity, yeah. And then we go through WebGL. But that's been fun. This week we had a gravity system in place to sort of handle all the falls and that, but it was a bit too variable. And so I've just been swapping over to this sort of set trajectory system where I can set the angle, distance, speed. So everything's calculated. We know where everything's going to happen. But I was really aiming for predictable outcomes rather than the unpredictability of gravity.
Right. And what about the netcode when it comes to gravity as well, since it's multiplayer?
Yeah, well, most of the netcode has been handled by my partner Nick, and he sort of set up a good little system where we're using I don't know much about it, but Signal R is how we're sort of passing from servers that we've constructed we're hosting on AWS, and we pass them through. So everything's server authoritative, and it just passes. I don't ask me the specifics of the timing there. I think we're capped at 60 packets or frames a second or something.
Okay.
So whatever the client receives is just what the server has sent. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So I won't grill you on that, but I know there's some issues. There are some challenges when you're trying to do like real-time physics simulation with online sites.
Oh yeah,
but,
and we were seeing that too, which is why I've done the calculated things.
Yeah, separate subsystems on most game engines, the physics engine and the net code. So sounds like fun. Yeah, and Sam, what have you been up to?
Well, I've been greyboxing level for a new project idea. I've been spending a bit of time working on the game design document to figure out what exactly I want to make, and now I'm just in the greyboxing stage after having come up with controls, and it's going to be an interesting project, that's for sure. Quite personal, but it'll be nice.
So can you give us a little, just a little snippet of? I know you were in the middle of telling me before, and I got distracted. It's like, what's it about? Just whatever you can tell. Nothing personal.
It's going to be
or embarrassing.
What I'd probably attribute it to would be like a survival sim where you and life sim where the character makes decisions that makes progression very difficult.
Okay. Is this Kafkaesque again?
it's going to be quite psychological. Yeah.
Fantastic, nice. Oh, look, that'd be good to see. So it's going to be going to sort of be related to your previous game up on itch.io.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lots of. It's going to have to be a very fine art between upsetting the player and giving them sort of a rocky sense of control over the character they play as.
Interesting. Okay. Well, we'll have to see it when it comes up.
That sounds interesting. Progression that blocks the player. I'd like to see what you design.
You could call it Rage Quit. The game that hates you.
I've got a name idea for it. Called Just One More.
Just one more. Okay.
Which leaves it quite open to interpretation.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. I will mention on that note as well. We looked at Fraser's game last week. It is now up on itch.io, so if anyone wants to play it, it's available there. I think you released it earlier this week, so that's kind of cool to see. Yeah. Alrighty. And I've been trying to write a literature review for game design, which is one of the reasons we're looking at some of the stuff we're looking at, because I've been spending time delving into the land of both academic game design, but also game design from the industry as well, and it's kind of interesting to look into. So maybe that's a good segue. Let me just put that over there, and here we are. So this is our new screen, so we can see what we're looking at and talk at the same time. So this the first one I want to talk about is this thing called machinations. Now, this actually came from the academic world, and I think from what I've found so far, it's the only sort of successful game design academic kind of research thing that has also managed to sort of get across to the industry. And I think it's actually done that really, really well. So we're actually on the company thing, because the front page had some really annoying animation on. I'll tell them to get rid of that animation, guys. But I thought I'd just briefly, it's actually got his story here. So Machinations is it was actually created for games specifically. And he says our purpose is to bring balance to every system. So this is the interesting thing. It's not just games now. So that's what's really interesting. So our purpose is to bring balance to every system. Our mission is to support studios in shipping better games faster and lifting KPIs while avoiding catastrophes. Now, what I find really interesting is that this was for games, but it's gone broader. So just historically, this is sort of stuff I've been reading. So 2012, Joris Dormans submits his research, Engineering Emergence Applied Theory for Game Design, and Ernest Adams and Joris Dormans published Game Mechanics, Advanced Game Mechanics. Ernest Adams is a name certainly familiar to me, having been teaching game design and development for a long time. One of the earliest books to come out was from Ernest Adams, a very well-known industry practitioner and author. In 2013, Joris Dormans, Ernest Adams present Machinations at GDC Europe. During their talk, Machinations, a new way to design game mechanics. 2015, as a game economy. So this is the thing. It's actually simulating game economies. That's what it does. It does something very specific, and I think it does it very well. So as a game economy designer at a successful studio in Denmark, Mihai Geza starts using Machinations, investigating how to base game design decisions on science, not opinions. While at Game Analytics, Dana Geza starts working in a series of in-depth cross-game data reports, talking about the insights and industry challenges. Mihai shows Machinations to Dana, bewildered by the potential Mihai and Dana asked Jones about these future plans for Machinations. So this is back in 2015. So this is 10 years ago now. As a keynote speaker at Games Business, Mihai presents a Machinations diagram and witnesses the entire room being lit up by phone flashes. In response, Mihai and Dana talk to Radu Krekian about how Machinations can dispel uncertainty in a hit-driven industry. That's the games industry. Radu is fascinated and immediately sees the applicability to other industries inspired by the potential and audience reception. So Mihai, Dana, and Radu talk to Joris and team up to advance Machinations and port a Flash version, if you're old enough to know Flash games, and a Flash version into a browser-based collaborative platform. Nice. So then 2016, Alan Moldovan and his team, Kick-Ass Devs, are sold into the vision and join ranks. This is a great story. 2018, Fit for Start Accelerator grants them first funding. So they have received quite a bit of funding here. Machinations IO launches in closed beta to 700 users in 2018. 2019, Seed Camp leads a pre-seed round. 2019, again, Machinations opens in beta, 2,000 users. So this is 6 years ago. 2020, Machinations Live collaborative editing, 12,000 users. Goodness me. Machinations launches its 3D Unity plugin. I didn't know a Unity 3D plugin. Okay. Yeah, real-time two-way sync between Machinations diagrams and Unity build. Were you aware of that, Charlie?
No, though when you presented Machinations to me, the name itself sounded familiar, so I might have scrolled past at one point.
Okay, but you've never used it.
But no, never used it. I might have a look at it now, though.
Yeah, okay. So also 2020, Gapminder leads a seed round. Okay, so they're getting funding, which is good stuff. 2021, Machinations launches a series of live webinars. The Machinations community goes live, 23,000 users. 22, Hyro Capital leads Series A round, game economy health monitoring service. Machinations is nominated for Best Tech Provider at Develop Star Awards Brighton. I'm assuming that's Brighton in the UK. Team up with Professor Edward Castronova, the inventor of the virtual economics field, to define the Machinations Manifesto for building sustainable game economies. The designer pillars. I'm assuming that's a link. We're not going to go there, but might read that at some stage soon.
Yeah.
Custom variables and live data digestion, and 2023 10-year anniversary GDC talk, building sustainable game economies, the 3 design pillars. So some pretty good stuff going on there from the industry. You can see there's quite a big team there now, and we will go to the front page because we'll scroll down a little bit. That's the thing that I don't really like much. And we can see an example here as well of one of the Machinations graphs. So, Charlie, you sort of mentioned some things to me earlier on when I put this out and they're saying, has anyone used this?
Yeah, well, this little animation, is it playing? It doesn't look like it's going, but immediately caught my eye in the sense of like when you want to be designing economies or RNG sort of engines for random occurrences of things for players to find within your world, whether it's a currency economy or an item economy, it looks super helpful.
Yeah, right. Yeah. But we haven't.
This is the animation. This is the one.
This is the animation. This is it going. So we can see. Now, none of us have used this yet. So we're talking kind of out of our behinds a little bit. But it looks really interesting. Yeah, first impressions, it looks really interesting. I have come across this before. I read this paper probably 7 or 8 years ago, maybe more. I've been doing my PhD for a long time, so still going. That's when I came across it. But it's certainly gone a lot further now than what it has. So what I'd really like to do is, and I think, Charlie, you were talking, you're kind of keen to use this next time you've got an economy to design.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, like the current project, one of them is sort of like a card battler where we're thinking of numbers of cards, the RNG element of finding cards and like how many packs and what in there, and then also designing number of like abilities that interact and things like that. So having a system like this where we could really visualize the chances of X amount of cards to be found, because I think that's the hardest thing is like if you want to make a deck, how many cards should that deck have? You know, you got to consider what the card battle game is itself, and the length of it as well. So, and then creating charts and tables of these things is my usual method. Takes a long time. Whereas if I could throw in some values, it'd be like, yeah, instead of mining, I'd have card packs, 10, X amount of cards, chance of rolling for a chance of finding this card, you know. I can definitely see potential in this for any project I use in the future.
Right. Okay. Well, maybe we'll get you to give us a bit of a rundown when you actually do that, and you can show us how it works.
Well, they have a like a free use version of it, right? Which I assume.
Of course they do. I mean, it's an online company for gamers. You know how many games you're going to pay. Yeah. So I don't know what the limitations are. Pricing plans. Let's have a quick look. So there's the free, forever free.
That does look good.
Forever free sounds good.
Public account. Oh, public account. So everyone
can see what you're doing. Yeah.
50,000 events, users per month, top-up events. Oh, that's pretty cheap. Simulations, performance, one-time single thread, AI balancer. Okay. So $15 a month. I guess if you're using it a lot, that's not too bad. Private account. So if you want to keep things private, yeah, that sounds fair enough. I can imagine you probably would, yeah?
Definitely.
Someone just
comes to make it. Takes your economy for their game. Yeah,
this economy looks good.
For testing.
And you get 20,000 events per user month. Human chat support. Yeah, sure. Issue response, right? And then pro. So I guess if you're running a studio, you would probably go the pro. $150 a month. Looks a lot more, obviously, involved there. Yeah, so lots of opportunities. Sam, you were going to say something before? Sorry, I cut you off.
The animation sort of just reminded me of RuneScape. I don't know why, but I'd like to see how they do their graphs using this
in RuneScape.
Yeah, for RuneScape, because it would be. There'd be a very fine art to sort of having the grind without it being too much of a grind.
So do they have design documents sort of like this, or is it in game?
Figure out. I'm not sure. It'd be nice to sort of know how they balanced it, because the amount of time players grind to get a level towards maximum level is it's ridiculous. So figuring out how they manage to get a subset of players to maximize their stats and spend sort of hours and hours doing the same task.
That sounds like
speaks a bit to that.
Yes.
Isn't that where you then go and offer your players a paid opportunity, to grind through, to buy some coins or something? Yeah,
I'd wager that they probably already figured out the chance rolls, and they know the time that they're committing, and he's sitting there.
Yeah, I would say that is definitely the case. So there's some people who are using this. So we've got Amazon Game Studios. Some of these I know. Funcom. I know Wooga is a German game company. They sort of make it's quite interesting. Look, when it comes to the games industry, there are those like Wooga, for instance. Have you guys heard of Wooga?
No, I haven't heard of Wooga.
This one right here. So Wooga it's been around for a long time.
No.
Zynga actually is probably you've heard of Zynga
Which one? Oh, on the right. Yes, I've seen
on the right.
Zynga. I've seen
So
the
they
logo. Haven't heard it read out loud.
Have they
Big Fish I've heard of as well.
Big Fish? So these are kind of games as a business type companies in many ways, I would say. Like they're more the business side. So they do like mobile type. They focus on mobile type games.
Yeah,
Stuff
focus
like
on
that.
revenue, making money.
Revenue, yeah. It'd be nice. Wouldn't it be nice to sort of be able to have someone like that in your team who you could just tell to shut up occasionally, but then also who would give you
Great advice.
yeah, exactly. How the hell do we make money out of this?
Yeah.
Yeah, the business side of things as well. So a lot of these, it's interesting. Yeah, a lot of the people who are obviously paying for it are ones who, it's quite interesting. They must be sort of, they see the value in applying like a system like this where they can sort of see exactly what is going on. And perhaps, as we were saying before, there's also that idea of, how hard do we make it, before we offer, hey, do you want to buy some coins to get, or some jewels, or is to get through to the next part of this this thing as well.
Well, yeah,
So,
exactly. It speeds up all the sort of guesswork and stuff that you do, and just see real numbers based on those percentages.
I'm surprised we don't see any gambling games actually.
Yeah. Interesting that there's a lot of universities. I guess they're all using things for research and whatnot.
Well, I
Lots of
think they're
education.
just happy to see an academic project get into like to be successful in the industry. It's very
Yeah.
rare. I mean, I've got some other things we'll talk about if we get time, but there is this sort of gap between the industry and research for various reasons, which I'm happy to talk about, but don't need to go into now. So the other thing that's interesting is that they've gone beyond games. So obviously there's games, yeah, gamification, which you guys heard of gamification?
Yeah.
You're
of
not familiar
course.
with gamification? Yeah.
No. I am.
Yeah. So yeah, gamification. Doesn't that just mean giving badges to doing things?
Well, I feel like every app is gamified now, and they give you little tiny goals to complete and keep you engaged.
Bizarrely, even games are gamified, aren't they? Like I thought it was quite weird when Steam came up with its Steam achievements. It's like, hang on, that's from gamification.
Yeah.
So it came from games, went outside games, and then came back to games in gamifying games. So, okay.
Gamifying everything to do with games, the stores, the way we share them.
I have no idea what tokenomics are. iGame. What's iGaming?
I think this is the gambling stuff. The iGaming.
Oh.
Okay. Here it is. It's under a different guise.
That's to make it sound nicer. That's to
Yeah.
That's the polished turd.
iGaming. It just makes me
I've never heard of it.
attach it to Apple.
Well, yeah, maybe, yeah. But there's also financial as well, which is quite interesting. So because it models economies, and so you could see economists maybe using this stuff to plan. Here in Australia, we've got our treasurer using machinations to plan the economy. Just see that happening. But also manufacturing. I mean, it makes sense.
Makes sense, yeah.
It actually makes sense, with manufacturing. And also healthcare. Yeah, that's really interesting.
Okay.
So I'm really impressed. I mean, I think this is a real success story for games research, game design research of all things as well, which is a very small subset of game studies, they call it. and it's really doing really well. I think this sort of says that there's potential. There's a lot of potential out there if you can do something well. And I think the problem, as I said, we'll talk about some of the other things out there, such as game design patterns and the Game Ontology project, which I think are not done so well in relation to being useful for designers. They might be useful for academics, but when it comes to actually designers who are doing stuff, who are designing games, I think Machinations has managed to really hit on it, and it's obviously doing really well. It's succeeded, which is fantastic to see. So yeah, I'm really impressed. So I'm not going to go through it today.
UML used to be.
Sorry, Sam?
UML used to be like the bane of the software engineering experience because it was boring. I didn't really feel like doing it, but I think this sort of does find the middle ground where you can see the benefits of it.
Yes. So I mean, this is UML in a visual state. I think maybe a specialized version of UML. Yeah.
Yeah. Bit more interactive and
not as dull.
Informative.
Yeah. Because it says here, design, create a play-testable digital twin of your system using Lean, Turing complete universal modeling language, born in academia and used by professionals worldwide. Yeah. So I don't know whether he extended UML or whether he just took UML and made it graphical. I'm not sure. I'd have to check that. Cool. All right. Any other comments or anything about Machinations?
No, not until I get into it myself.
Well, let us know, because I'd love to see a little. If you can do a little demo, that'd be fantastic, just to see how it works. I mean, I don't think it's very complicated by the sort of video thing up here. It looks pretty straightforward, but it'd be nice to see a real example of it being used.
Yeah,
you can use different values if you like, mate. You don't have to give away your economy, but be nice to see something real happening there.
Yeah, well, like I said, I'll have a little looky and see if it fits what I'm trying to do.
Fantastic. All righty. So now to something a little bit maybe more exciting. As most people know, or maybe know, there was a test weekend for Arc Raiders, something I've spoken about before. And Charlie managed to jump in and play Arc Raiders. So let me just drag this across. So so let me just full screen that. All good. So tell us. Oh, hang on. Before let me just here we go. All right.
Oh, Fraser just said hi in the chat. Hey, Fraser.
Fraser, how you doing, mate? Look what you missed out on. A wonderful new setup and everything. You could have been the fourth face down there. Your space is there, just down the bottom. It's so clean.
So clean, yes.
Cool. Wow. Yeah, wish you could be here. All righty.
All right. Yeah. So on the weekend, I managed to carve out some time in between the downloads and everything else to get into Arc Raiders, and I actually hadn't heard much about it before. I think I'd seen a picture of the marketing, and then after a quick video of watching it, I was like, yeah, I'll give this a try. So I played a couple rounds. Maybe I'll just play one of these videos while I'm chatting about it. I managed to play a couple of rounds, 3 in total. Then they sort of go in probably half an hour segments, I think they are. And it's an extraction looter game where you get thrown into a world. There's a bunch of people, other players playing, sort of doing what you're doing as well. And the environment is really dangerous. And so
other extraction shooters that we might know about?
Sorry, is there
other extraction shooters we might have played?
No, well, not myself. I don't play many sort of games like this.
So Tarkov's the classic, I guess.
Tarkov would be, yeah,
Yeah.
would be it. And I think of like the other ones you mentioned a bit ago, like Rust and stuff like that, where it's the big player in the multiplayer environment, where it's sort of the environment is against you, and you've got to look out for the players. So it's that whole vibe, but a different layer to it. I think they really hit the mark they're going for, and I think that mark is tension. You know, I can't comment on Tarkov or Rust, and I'm sure the tension is high in that too. But from the immediate plays of this, I really felt it from the first second. And this is still the intro happening. So this has been going through the menus you set up. So you set up in a world before the missions where you choose all your loadout and standard sort of network multiplayer stuff, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're launched into the world.
So this is
But
your first game, is it?
I think this is the second one.
Second game.
My first one was a bit I was a very cautious player. Might not be that great to watch. But I was really impressed with the first introduction to the world, and that sort of posed as a single like little 15-minute sort of playthrough thing, which I have some videos and I'll show you after we discuss. But each important element of the game is presented to you in a way that you're not really aware that you're learning, which is the typical, show don't tell design principle. But they just hit it really well and gave you the basic foundations for you then to be thrown directly into this world, which is the one which was open for the weekend play. What was it? Something Dust Wasteland or something. And then you're given all the tools needed, and you're straight in. And the big enemy are these machines, which they track you by sound. Mostly, well, sight and sound, but I noticed that is a big part of the gameplay. Is like you think about how you move around, the noise you're making, the gear you're carrying. Because a couple of times I would be opening a container or something, which would alert the presence of other people or other things around me, and immediately the world becomes from this quiet, sneaking around and looting things into this really high danger, high intensity, run for your life or fight your way out kind of situation. But it's been it was a fun, great little playthrough. And I did get some notes just here about the game loop itself, which is kind of what I've been describing is, you start in your home base, which is all the menus, you upgrade your gear, you manage your loadout, you pick your quests, and you select your zone. And then once you go into the zone, the loop sort of it's timer based. So you get your timer, you've got to explore, survey, find loot, gain XP, avoid detection or avoid/engage enemies or other players. And then once your time is up, you find extraction point. From this playtest, I'm pretty sure there's going to be more to the missions, but it was very much just find X amount of items, which I had a lot of fun doing. And now you're seeing me struggling with these little these little mech enemies flying around. So really solid and simple little game loop, I noticed. But I think that their biggest winning point was the tension, which is the hostile world, which is being garnered from the intimidating enemies, your lack of ammo and resources. And when you get caught alone, like I managed to survive one just there, but I did die quite a lot when I was, overwhelmed by 3 or 4 more enemies. Like you really got to keep sort of that stealth sort of side happening. And then layered on top of that to build the tension, I noticed is that everything takes time. So you can actually see here the items, which I think you said is a feature from Tarkov too, Chris.
Absolutely.
When you open a container, it takes time to find things. It then takes time to use that item to heal yourself or something like that. It all happens in real time in the multiplayer environment. So, you've got to think about where you're taking cover to, open containers, use items or anything. So the whole time I was playing, I felt really oh, this is a PvP encounter actually. So I saw someone there and they just took a
great
headshot at me.
headshot.
Yeah, they almost got me and I freaked out. I didn't know what to do. But then that drew sounds of robots to go attack him. And then I was like, oh, this is my chance. And then I sprinted out of there. So it was a great little dynamic event, which now I'm suffering the consequences of the robots as well. But shooting at each other draws the attention of the world around you, which I thought was really great sort of layer there.
That's really interesting. So, I mean, I'm just sort of thinking about sort of the different aspects. So the one being, and the one I have to admit, I'm not a fan, but I can sort of see, that when you open something up and it slowly reveals itself, like, my God, what a frustrating pain in the ass mechanic. I mean,
I know, right? But it's
particularly
the
when
layering.
you're under pressure, aren't you? So you're under a lot of pressure, and you also, the main thing is to get loot. Yeah. So you actually need to go and find that loot. But to get that loot, you need to spend time actually searching in a really hostile environment. That's a really good way to sort of add investment and then put you in a dangerous position to get that in to get what you need to get. So
exactly, and I think I was just searching for wire this whole time, and I never found it. I did die, but I was just searching for a simple item. But
why did you need wire? Was this one of the things you needed to get for?
It was just a scavenging task. I had to find.
Oh, it's just a task.
So every time I open this up, it's like, oh, no wire. Oh, ammo. No, what's this? Oh, still no wire.
So it's it's kind of interesting. That's like, if you're familiar with the in film, the MacGuffin, that idea of the MacGuffin. Have you guys come across that?
No, what's the MacGuffin?
So a MacGuffin it was Alfred Hitchcock, I think, coined the term, and it's the thing that everyone is after. So, like the Maltese Falcon, for instance, one of his famous movies, The Maltese Falcon. The MacGuffin is the Maltese Falcon. That's what everyone is after.
Okay.
So it's kind of like you've added, because it's who gives a shit about getting some sort of virtual piece of wire? Who gives a crap? But it's kind of the same idea. It's like, okay, you need to get this to progress. So the MacGuffin in that respect is the piece of wire or whatever it happens to be to get to the next stage. So I was wondering whether, because the way we often do that is, you need this piece of thing to craft, maybe a fuse that you need to put into a fuse box so you can open a door. That's kind of one of the classics.
Yeah.
Something along those lines.
No, well, the MacGuffin of this was, as irrelevant as it was, it really drove me forward. And there's some notable events which I haven't noted, which is just about to come up. I'll skip through them a little bit. So about 9:50, there was something that happened.
Mm-hmm.
Also, this is to do with their level layout design, like the environments as a hazard as well. So there's enemies scattered around in areas for you to try and get through, and as you can see, the hallway's covered. But they've also designed, the buildings that you can climb out and actually find alternate ways around. So there's nice thought of traveling through the world, safely and dangerously, or fast versus slow, depending on your time you have left or something there. So let me cool when I found that.
Let me throw a question at you guys, like, because you look at this and I'm thinking, okay, so you can say this is well designed, and we look at a lot of levels, a lot of games. You can say, yeah, the level design was great. But the question I have, so we have disciplines like architecture and landscape architecture and urban design, urban architecture.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of wondering, so in the games industry, do we have any of this stuff where there's kind of like a method or a formula or to creating good game design like this? Is there anything like that, or is it just like ad hoc?
I can't say I've come across anything like concrete. It's always been a feeling for me. If I look at an area and then you think of what players are doing or so much, I very much feeling. I go, it'll be nice to do this and this, and it'll take a couple of iterations to think of everything.
Hmm.
But in the case of that hallway, giving a second option to sort of pass through unscathed is a good design decision, whether they intended it or not, or whether it was just a part of the model of the building.
I mean, that is a principle of kind of game design that we do talk about, is that having multiple paths.
Yeah.
One which
different
might be
styles, different paths.
Yeah, and one of them also might be easier, and the other one involves more danger. And you
Yeah.
basically you get higher the risk, the higher the reward.
Yeah, and in
along
this
with it.
case, the reward is once you defeat the enemies, which are dangerous, you can scavenge them, and they most likely have parts that you need on them, or high value parts that you trade back at the base.
Oh, so these are the little drone things that are attacking you.
Yeah, so there's a couple. There's like mounted turrets. There's drones that go along the ground. There's flying drones. There was a survey drone that actually got me quite a lot, and that would call in different ones. So, and then I found destroying the little ones didn't give you much, but if you managed to take out a bigger one, they would have some pretty good loot on them. So basic design, principle there, but it is in place. And I'll skip through to my
really
final
capitalized.
Sorry, continue.
They've capitalized quite a bit on space. It reminds me a lot of like the PvP and PvE levels in Destiny. Because I think these sorts of online experiences do sort of follow a formulaic approach to level design, where you have sort of the POIs, which it sort of narrows the experience, and then once you've finished with that, it's sort of straight back into the wide open world where it's sort of a bit unclear on where you go.
What to do, yeah. And I think they handled this quite well in this, because it lends so much to the environment and the environment's atmosphere that you are a scavenger. You've seen those movies. Like, I think the top of my head is the new Star Wars movies with the girl at the very start. She's out scavenging in these giant structures. Like, you feel like that. You feel like you're lost, walking around alone, looking for something until you're not alone. So whether that falls into like good design or like in the part of gameplay, in the sense of gameplay, or just like world design, is up to the beholder. And actually,
I guess
keep watching this now. This is pretty much where this run ends.
Oh,
Which is my closest experience with another player. Is I was looking at my map and got shot in the head.
So even looking at the map,
so I guess what
tension.
What sort of feelings did you have when you were playing?
I was very tense the whole time. I was very engaged and tense, because just as you saw, you can't pause, you can't do anything, and you don't know what's around the next corner, and you're trying to get your things. This is me giving feedback. I loved my last round, but my PvP encounters, not so much. But no, I felt really engaged and pretty much
I love the atmosphere and those weather effects look fantastic.
Yeah. So this one, I just want to set up the context of this is the start of the game. I just took a few screen records of different aspects of when you're sort of being taught something. So we saw the game playing before, and we didn't actually see me get to the end because I died in that one. But the way you exit levels is going into a vault to go down back into the safe zone. But throughout the intro zone, you're shown a bunch of things. So like first thing, you're introduced to this giant creature, there's danger and enemy mechs lurking around. And then immediately you're then shot at, and you can see me struggling with the controls. I couldn't figure out if crouch was toggleable or not, and it wasn't toggleable.
So is this? Are there bots like?
So these are bots right now.
So this is no. I mean,
This
so in Tarkov, like there are other players, but there are also what do they call them? Scavs, which I think
Scavs.
are not actually players. They are some sort of AI controlled player.
Well, I didn't come across any in the server slam that they did, but maybe it will be a part of it. This, for the sense of the intro, was, and I'll just rewind it to this point. So this guy shoots at you,
Yeah.
and you try and figure out, you fight back and whatnot, but then immediately he shoots up a flare for some reason, but which attracts in a drone, which kills him. So that immediately tells me, oh god, making noise can, attract a drone to kill me.
Oh,
so
okay.
I thought that was a nice little touch, just to it's not thrown in your face, but it's like there is danger for causing a ruckus.
You take half your health as well.
Did take half my health, yeah.
Yeah.
And then the next thing is Scav Danger, as I've titled the thing, other players. So this is pretty much a couple of seconds later, is you get in and then you just get taken out.
Yeah. Other players are the most brutal.
They are, yeah.
And
but it's shown in this little cutscene here where they come and take your stuff, and then afterwards you get up again because, who doesn't die from getting shot? Who does die, sorry. And then you continue on your way without your gear. So another unheavy-handed way of just being like, watch your back.
So hang on, what are we seeing here? This is actual play?
Yeah, this is me playing through the intro.
Oh, this is the sort of tutorial.
This is the tutorial level, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then again, along the way, there's the standard stuff and items to loot and pick up, which again show you the time-based mechanics of, using items and opening up containers and whatnot.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, so just to get you a bit familiar with it. And then the final one is how you exit levels, which I didn't realize was happening at the time, but you have this sequence where you got to call an elevator and it starts blaring all this noise and you're like, oh god, why are you doing that? And they very likely just bring one enemy, or maybe there's more, but I managed to evade them a bit. But it immediately gave me that sense of like, noise is danger. Be careful. At these exit zones, a racket's going to be caused,
Yeah.
Try and stay safe.
So stealth is definitely a big part of the...
I reckon. I think, though, once you get in parties of, I don't know how many people you're supposed to be playing with, but you'll be able to do some serious damage because there's some pretty large enemies. If I'll quickly go back and scrub and show you just some of the ones I saw in video 1. Just around here. I started hearing this noise and something on the left there climbs up.
Ooh.
So I imagine that would kill me instantly, but if you had a party of people, you probably have some strategy to take that on. So there's a lot more depth to the battling at some point.
Mm-hmm.
And video 3 it might have been.
That's cool.
No, I won't waste time just going through here. But there was another one, probably about 3 times as big as that other one that we just saw, which I stayed very far away from. I should have ran up for it for just the sake of seeing what would happen. But
yeah, I sometimes do that in games. Like, what happens if I do this? Oh, I die.
Yeah.
So what about the selecting? What about the selecting of weapons and stuff? Did you have to like select your loadout when you start? Do you have any? Do you have any
so at the start,
vision
I think
of
in
that?
video 1 I started recording. You
Yeah.
choose your missions here.
Yep.
Choose your area. That's that one, and then you get here you get given your loadout. So you have on the left there your things that you have in your stash, and then you just like drag over what you want to bring in. So you can plan ahead, and the stuff that you bring back can then be utilized to go out again.
And you've got a safe pocket there, I see.
Yeah, so when you're knocked out, you can save one item, which I think it might have been.
Oh, one item.
Yeah, I put a pair of binoculars in there for my next run, but I died and then it disappeared. So.
Oh, so the safe pocket wasn't so safe.
It wasn't so safe.
Dang.
Yeah. But no, yeah, that was my experience of Arc Raiders. Is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I never played the other one the studio did, which was the finals.
Yeah, the finals. You mentioned that.
I mean, see this being a bit more successful.
Oh yeah, the finals was not very successful at all, was it?
Hmm.
I'm thinking back, and I'm just like, yeah, hang on, that wasn't. Yeah, I don't recall that being much good things being said about that, unfortunately.
Yeah.
There was also an online multiplayer, if I recall correctly.
That's all it was, wasn't it? The finals. It was just all online multiplayer, sort of battle royale, or yeah.
Yeah, there was something about. I can remember. Like, it must have been a while back, but I do remember things about it. So it's interesting.
The marketing was very like stylized and in your face, you know, really cool. And I find those things like that really, they're really hit and miss. They either really hit the mark and people love it, or they're just like, they feel, I don't know, the design wise of it. And when I speak design, I'm talking about like the visual graphic design of it. Kind of misses the mark.
So I wonder whether they've sort of pivoted a bit because that maybe wasn't so successful. But they've obviously got the technology for a good online multiplayer game, and knowing, you know, I mean, I guess if they were looking at the market at that time and said, you know, hey, Tarkov and Hunt Showdown, you know, are doing really well. Let's try making one of these, and you know, obviously the engine and everything that they had. Was this was this an engine we know?
I'm not sure what the engine is.
Was it their own engine or Unreal 5 or?
It didn't have a splash screen for anything at the start, so
okay, so we don't really know.
Could be their own.
Yeah.
Could be Unreal 5 as well, like, but
it makes a lot of sense. And like once you've invested all that time and energy into sort of like something like an online multiplayer, then you know, I mean, that's there. Why not reuse it?
Yeah, exactly. And the marketing, or the graphic design of the marketing and like the visual image, I think is really pleasing. I've gone that, which is actually reflected on the pants of my character there. The yellow, red, and blue lines, I think is a really visually pleasing sort of face, like public front facing visual to market with.
Can we just maybe have a look at the final? I might just have a look at the finals page. I just want to have a look at the comparison. So I might go to, I might just jump into Steam if it's there. Is the finals there? The finals. Oh, interesting. So it's free. It's a free to play.
Free.
Well, it might have always been. Well, hang on. Here we go. Let's have a quick look. Oh, a bit loud.
Like, it looks good. You know, look at that environment destruction, lots of multiplayers.
Physics, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Can you guys hear that?
No.
Okay.
No.
It's really loud for me. So to me, I'd be saying that's the Unreal Engine using chaos physics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which are then safe to say that probably Arc Raiders is Unreal Engine then.
Yeah, I mean it could well be. They've just done it well. So that's interesting. Let me just have a look at the. Oh, actually, maybe it was good. Like mostly positive.
Mostly positive. Okay, it just didn't blow up as big as they'd hoped. Maybe.
Look, it's funny. You know, sometimes there are those games that actually do well, but you just don't hear about them so much.
Well, like to me, when I saw it, it was they're targeting a very niche kind of player in my mind,
right.
Which is the very, I don't know, like
fast-paced
I don't want to. Yeah,
shooter.
I don't want to put anyone down or anything. But you know,
I would have played this. I would have played
fast-paced,
this.
ADHD kind of like you need constant constant stimulation. Like it seems so in your face. So
I would have played this if you know when I was younger for sure. I mean, it's kind of like the old online shooters. We're talking about Unreal Tournament. I mean, similar kind of idea. Just yeah.
I played some Unreal Tournament at PAX this year.
Oh, really? Which one? The original?
The original. They had the old PC set up and then the old game there. It was good fun. They actually had 3 running. Oh no, was it? Yeah, it was there. Oh no, it was actually at TGX a little while ago. Sorry, my bad.
What operating system? Because I haven't been able to get it to run on
like
Windows
98 or something, or I don't know.
Right. So they had okay.
They had like the proper old school PCs with old operating systems running. It was in the retro like section. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Look, I mean, some great memories.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's interesting. So and when was this? This is 2023. That's interesting. So a turnaround time of basically 2 years.
Yeah, that's quick. Well done.
But you can see how much they've definitely reused a lot. Let's just hang on. Let's look at the next one maybe. So, you know, they've changed obviously a lot of things. They've changed the game, but obviously a lot of things I would say would have carried over from these 2 games. So that makes a lot of sense. I mean, you know, if you can reuse your netcode, if you can reuse your a lot of the stuff that you're doing, and then I mean 2 years for a completely new game like that, that's pretty good these days.
Yeah,
they seem to spend a hell of a lot of time. Yeah, they tend to spend a lot of time. I mean, you know, geez, decades sometimes, which is a bit silly, but what's the last one?
Like watching all these videos, it does make me want to try out that just the physics destruction stuff. Like I'm not a big competitive player myself, so the base loop of this doesn't appeal to me. But the physics stuff, wow, looks cool.
Yeah.
Destructible environments.
It's definitely giving more like sort of Black Mirror Squid Game vibes.
Like, yeah, really stylized design. Solid colors.
What was the other game that came out recently that didn't do that? What was it, Marathon or something? Or was it Marathon?
Anthem? Well, that wasn't recently, but that's...
No, this is... It just got crushed. It had a similar stylized feel to it. Yeah. Anyway, cool. Okay.
The Firebreak? FPC Firebreak?
No. Firebreak.
The Bungie one.
Oh, did Bungie try and do another one?
Was it Bungie?
Yeah, that was Marathon.
Oh, it
was Marathon. Yeah. Unfortunately. Well, did you see actually just the other day that the CEO, Remedy CEO, has?
Yeah, I read it this morning.
Yeah. So, Sam, sorry, what were you saying?
The Marathon, they got caught out plagiarizing someone's art without credits.
Yeah.
Okay.
They haven't actually released yet, have they? I don't think.
No.
Marathon, no. Because it looked very similar. Let's have a look. Here's from Bungie. Actually, probably even more stylized. Actually, I like this design. I like the colors and everything. It reminds me a little bit of like an updated version, maybe of Mirror's Edge.
This just looks like tech Fortnite to me, though.
Wasn't that one of the things that people were saying? It was basically just.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, it was the gameplay. They didn't like the gameplay. So it hasn't come out yet. So it looks like they're. But I love the visuals. To me, look really good. I like the visuals on this. But it looks like they've gone away and they're sort of redoing a lot of stuff.
I mean, in a
Yeah, it
space
does look
that the market's quite saturated, so it's all a bit homogenized.
Which is, and it's funny you say that because I was thinking that too. Like they already have Destiny. Like Destiny is huge and it's been going for a long
Yeah.
time, and I've played it a lot. Like that's one of the online shooters that I play. I haven't played it for like a year or two now, but it felt good, and it always felt good. Why would they attempt it again? It feels like they've already done the best they can. I guess this would just be a different makeup. Different
Good
play
question.
style too. Yeah. Marathon.
Well,
So they're
sometimes
plagiarizing art.
Going back to-
No good.
you can see they're all trying to differentiate. They're all trying to differentiate themselves from the competition, which is fair enough because you want to be different. So
I think
anyway,
you probably have to do a little bit more than just slap a different skin on it. If all
Yeah.
the sort of core
yeah, really,
game design principles are the same.
there's a lot of successful games out there that are almost just copycat, cookie cutter copies of other games, though.
It's true.
I'm
I feel
not
like it's always
saying.
Sorry, you go on.
I'm not saying that's what you should do, but if you're like, I think if you went to, those game companies looking at before King, Zynga, Wooga, you'd find a lot of those games were different versions of games I think you already know.
Yeah.
So it's all about Amanda's 3D's here. Live video delayed. Okay, this is interesting. Oh, when was that? Hang on. I missed this. Sorry, I missed a comment here. I'm not too sure how long ago this was. Architectural approach to level design. Oh, okay. Yeah. So Amanda's 3D is talking about an architect. I think this was from way before. Sorry, Amanda's 3D. I wasn't keeping an eye on that chat. Live video delayed. Okay, that's interesting. Are you guys keeping an eye on the stream? Are we?
I'm watching the Twitch chat, but that's
are you actually watching the Twitch stream as well? Is there any delay?
That's how I'm seeing what you're seeing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. All right, no worries. Yeah. So, anything else about games before we?
Looks like they're at the same.
Yeah. No, I was just going to comment on the the cookie cutter games. I feel like it's all to do with the time windows too. Like, there's always going to be one game that is a breakout hit, and then everyone's going to follow with their own sort of versions. But it's just like the zeitgeist of what's hot and what's not. Things will come and go of what that cookie cutter game will be for a little while, I think.
Yeah, like no one's
feel like it's these multiplayer sort of, not so much battle royales, but battle royale style games,
style type games. Yeah, for sure. Any last thoughts, Sam?
Yeah, it's not too much to add, but it does sort of come across as sort of once they're a bit too late to the party, everyone's already seen it, so it's just a hanger on, really.
Yeah, it gets tougher to market, tougher to sell.
Absolutely. All right, cool. So the last thing we're going to talk about, it's not machinations. There's a couple of things. So there's a couple of other things I've been looking at from an academic point of view, and I think it's kind of interesting to look at this sort of stuff. So this is there's not even like academics. This is what? Would you know what this thing is while you're looking at this page? It's actually game design patterns, believe it or not. Have you guys ever heard of game design patterns?
Game design patterns? Yeah,
familiar with game design patterns? What do you think what do you think it means?
A game design pattern is certain design types that you see common throughout the games industry, throughout different games, similar mechanics or goals presented, is my first thought of a design pattern.
Okay. So you haven't necessarily seen like specific design patterns, for instance?
No, I can't say I'm too familiar with the idea of a design pattern.
Right. So, Sam, what about you? Have you come across design patterns before?
No.
So
Just
basically,
reading the wiki up now.
Yeah, if you tell me what it is, I might have examples of what.
That's like some of my students. You ask them a question, they're just like reading the notes. Oh, hang on, just let me read the notes, and I'll give you the answer. So look, design patterns are actually something originally from architecture. A guy called Christopher Alexander came up with the concept in the 70s, maybe, I think it was. And what he was trying to do in architecture was sort of work out ways. He used the term living spaces. So it wasn't just a case of like, how do I create a bathroom or a toilet or something? He was like trying to sort of say, well, how do I create spaces that feel like they have life in them? And maybe it's a little bit sort of something akin to what would you call them? What do the Chinese have? That concept of
The
space. Feng Shui.
Shui.
So and he sort of put this together with this idea, to try and create living spaces. So I don't know whether you've been. Have you ever been in any dead space? You consider what a dead space is? Not the game.
Oh yeah, I've heard the term and like of the living space a bit.
Okay.
And constantly notice dead space in a lot of things now.
Mm-hmm.
But you'll see it in like a funny post online or something where someone just has like a window that's too high in like a hallway that doesn't go anywhere or something, or like a tiny little box just opening next to a door or something, which is just a bit of dead space.
Mm-hmm.
And that's small scale stuff. Like I can probably think
Yeah.
of examples in a larger room that doesn't flow well, but I think that's more of as you're saying, like a feng shui, like whether it's good or bad.
What about you, Sam? Dead spaces? Any dead spaces in South Australia? Adelaide?
There's a couple of drives that are pretty dead.
Okay,
A couple of hours of just straight lines.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, the scenery looks okay, but it's sort of, same sort of things that you see over and over and over again.
Right. So, yeah. So you there's, I mean, a lot of South Australia is desert as well, isn't it? So it's pretty notorious in Australia for those kind of long, straight, flat drives. Yeah. Have you been to? Has anyone been to Docklands in Melbourne?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, talking about dead spaces. Like that's one that just didn't work. Like the space itself was supposed to be really successful and all that sort of stuff, and it just died a death. No one wanted to go there.
I really like it though because it's these big, wide, open spaces in the city, but it's hardly ever populated.
Yeah, because no one wants to go there. Yeah,
it's really eerie and nice.
Have you been to Acme as well?
Was that the one?
Yeah.
With was that where they had that big Ferris wheel that only opened for a bit before it just shut down?
Yeah, bad feng shui. Yeah, it just didn't work. The other example I can think of as well is actually Acme. I think they've changed it now. You know Acme, Australian Centre for the Moving Image in Melbourne?
Yeah, I can't say I recall much of its layout though.
So I think they've improved it a lot. They really changed it. But when it first opened, it was just awful. Like there was nowhere to sort of feel like you could sit there or be there and just sort of enjoy the space or the area. It was just like this one sort of walkthrough.
Yeah, I was going to say, I remember the walkthrough and then just like little rooms from that walkway pretty much. And you're very much walking through.
So they're kind of spaces that just don't work. So Christopher Alexander was trying to come up with ways to create to work against to avoid that kind of thing. And he came up with this idea of design patterns for architecture. That was actually taken into one of the main areas that's used now is software engineering. So I would have thought you may have come across it in both being software engineers in software engineering. Have you come across design patterns in software engineering?
I think I just haven't been familiar with the terminology, but as we discuss this, then yeah, definitely, like, it is the whole principles of, like, you know, such as object orientated, you know, programming, stuff like that.
Yeah. So here we go, like design patterns in software engineering. So it's quite. Here's some nice images here. So here we go. Singleton, factory, abstract factory, builder, prototype. You guys come across those, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So that's actually from Christopher Alexander's concept of design patterns. But in software engineering, it's more a very sort of pragmatic sort of thing. They're not trying to create living programs, of course, or, you know, but it's just like to create something that actually works. Yeah.
Well, I've always looked at this as just like base structure. You know, these are the structures that we've figured out. You know, and not to be confused with a struct in programming terminology, but like a thing in a way that we can, you know, handle a lot of information en masse and connect a lot of things up. But the terminology of design patterns makes a lot of sense in this.
So it's kind of it's a bit different to the original idea of design patterns, because like it's almost like design patterns in software engineering are almost like if you were to do a design pattern for a toilet, for instance. You know, so what works as a toilet? Well, yeah, you have a toilet there. You know, you have 4 walls. They have to be this big. You have a sink. You have somewhere to dry your hands. It's kind of like, to me, that's what software engineering design patterns are. It's like this is what we need. This is what works. But that's basically it. It's very pragmatic, which is fine. You know, this is not necessarily a criticism. It's just that there's a difference between the two. So this is sort of game design patterns, and these started up about 2003, so quite a while ago now. And this is the design pattern wiki, if anyone's kind of interested in checking it out. As you can see, it's pretty bare bones. It's not obviously not. If we go compare it to old Machinations. It's looking a little less snazzy, maybe. Now, I have gone through these before, and I'm just wondering. So this is a wiki for developing extensive game design patterns collection. Yeah, specific game designs with the aim of supporting the design analysis of all types of games. Now, I think this could be one of the big problems to begin with. What all types of games? What do we mean?
Types of games, the blanket panacea.
Now, I think this is,
you know, all types of games aren't the same. So how would the same design patterns work?
Yeah, I mean, are 2D games the same as 3D games? Is spatiality in games? You know, I mean, that's a big difference. 2D compared to 3D. Video games compared to board games. Same thing.
Exactly.
And iGames.
iGames, yes. What a terminology, iGames. Dodgy games. I think this is one of the mistakes that a lot of academics have made, in that they're sort of trying to say that all games are like, it's just because something's called a game, then it can be considered the same kind of thing. And I think that's a big mistake in what they're doing. So in my research project, I'm actually focusing on 3D avatar-based video games, just to keep it like within a very small window. Because otherwise, you know, if you're trying to apply the same design ideas across all types of games, as I say here, I think you're trying to do something which is just doesn't work because they're just different types of things.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, but anyway, and it's an interesting attempt. And it was Stefan Bjork and Jussi Holopainen. And it's been around for a while, a long while, 22 years. Who's it's for? So, you can get to this. Anyone can actually get to this. But there's publications here. Yeah, look at these academics. We always love publication. There we go. But let's have a look.
So yeah, what are some of the design patterns that we can use?
Yeah, I mean, we don't even know. We kind of see category patterns.
They exist.
Oh god,
where are they?
And here we go. This is this is obviously made for people who like reading a lot.
We got rule patterns, action patterns, event patterns, resource, goals, difficulty-related patterns. Okay.
So you're reading down here.
Yeah, in the subcategories of patterns. They just jumped out at my eye immediately.
So subcategories.
I thought the MDA framework would have been coming up.
Oh yeah, there it is.
Okay. Patterns can also be mapped onto the MDA framework. That page doesn't exist at the moment. I think red means it doesn't exist. Okay. That's interesting. So why MDA? What's this?
Remove that framework.
Well, I want to see an example. Are these examples? Okay. I'll let you guys choose. Which one should we have a look at?
Ooh, what do we got? Aim and shoot, alarms, clues, combos. What about combat? Straight combat design pattern.
Combat. Let's have.
That's something we can all easily understand. Combat.
Oh, here you go. Oh goodness me! Would you like? Should we go away for a half an hour for a read? Freaking hell! So number one, okay, my number one criticism, I guess, when it comes to being used by designers, is no fucking designer is going to read this. No one is going to read this. TLDR, too long, didn't read. No one's going to read it. So we'll give it a try, shall we? Should we try and work it out? So combat, symbolizing the actions between game elements. Chess, go. That's an old. I think that's an old Egyptian game. Combat is one of the oldest, most common ways to give games themes. By doing so, the theme of game contains a link with the real-world competition between players, as well as blah 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 blah. Okay. Examples using the pattern. Where's the pattern?
Just get straight to using it.
Where's the pattern? Consequences, relations.
Was that the sort of the top sentence? Is that sort of what the says the pattern is? The themes of
combat. Is this the pattern? What the fuck?
By doing so, the theme of the game contains the link to the real-world competition between players. It's not really a pattern. It's just sort of describing what action is.
It's like a dictionary.
it's like a dictionary.
Or what academics might call a taxonomy from a academic point of view. So, my question is, what's the? This is not helpful. This is not helpful for a designer. It's just.
So we're aware of design patterns, but no one knows what the patterns are, and we're just making up the patterns. Is that what we're doing?
I thought there was more. I thought there was more in here. I thought there was a little pattern language that they used, like a visual. Let's just keep clicking until we
using the pattern.
Abilities, using the pattern.
I
feel like using the pattern is pretty much going to map out what you do. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Is that it? I thought there was more to it, though. I think there was a more kind of I thought there was a visual sort of aspect to it, which I'm not seeing anything like that.
Hmm.
So the examples, okay. This to me doesn't look like a pattern language. This looks to me more like a definition thing, isn't it?
Yeah, this feels like definitions.
Feels like definitions. So can
And
we
if it was
find
for
some-
designers, like you said, there'd be a lot more visual elements of
Yeah.
how the pattern would flow and move and change. And
What about
cycle.
let's just click and see whether we nah.
Penalties? They're all the same. All the same.
Lots and lots of words. Metagames. What the hell is this? Okay. So I don't know. To me, I'm not quite sure what they're trying to achieve here because I can't see any designers using this. Unfortunately, can you? Is it just me?
No. No. If I was looking for design patterns and I opened this and saw the wall of text, I would just go, oh, maybe I'll just do a Google image search.
Yeah. And I mean, why would you go in here? Well, like I just can't see. So this maybe this has never been meant to be used by the industry. Maybe this was just basically something that that the guys sort of wanted to be used by academics, because you can see academically, okay, lots of writing. Academics love lots of friggin' writing. Designers do not. So that must be that's my assumption.
I think programmers also, speaking from experience, I'd strongly dislike
Lots of text.
documenting.
Lots of text, yeah. Straight to the point, please.
Yeah.
Tell me, give me
If I
TLDR.
ask a question, yeah, I want
TLDR. So okay, so there's that. All right, so there is okay, so that was it was worth
There's
looking
a lot
at.
in here, it seems like lots of sublinks to different things that are potentially, rather interesting, but from a design perspective of coming in to implement a design pattern might not be the best use case.
But is it interesting if you just get to another wall of text and then another wall of text and then another wall of text? Like there's nothing
Depends
to
who
make
the
me
user is,
actually
I
want
guess.
to actually read this stuff, which is kind of disappointing, I think. But look, there is this other thing here which someone made, a little visual tool, and I have no idea how it works. But maybe this will make it more accessible. Let's have a look here. So welcome to GD Game Design Pattern Viz. Okay. This is a visualization tool to help you view the information found on the Gameplay Design Patterns org wiki, with a major focus on allowing better understanding of the links found between patterns. All right. Visuals nice. Okay. So hang on, let's see some examples. Oh, hang on, filtering. No, I'm not going to read that. You've lost me. You've already lost me. Do these people not know how gamers actually play games? It's like wall of text. No, let's just bypass that. We'll work it out. Why not check out some of the filters for inspiration? Yes, okay, I like that. All games category FPS games. What do you want to go? Game world exploration or FPS?
Game world exploration.
All right, let's have a look. Oh, look at that. Oh, very nice.
Hey, there we go.
Oh,
That's some
gee. Okay. Nice little visualization there. So can we grab these? Oh, we can grab it and move it around.
Rotate, move, yeah.
Ooh. Can I rotate? I'm not sure.
Definitely seems like you should be able to rotate in there. I need that to rotate to understand what's going on.
You're assuming it's 3D. Is it 3D? Oh,
it totally feels 3D.
It probably should be 3D. Can I want to hold down the Alt key.
Yeah.
Middle, no.
Middle mouse button, spin.
I can zoom. Hang on, what's this? History. Discussion.
I think it's just a 2D visualization. But look at all those connections.
Oh, connection. Fantastic. Excellent. I mean, can you make? I can't really make a lot out. Like props. There's too much information here. Landmark. Oh god, they don't stay there when you put them there.
And then then they move as you drag, which is hard. Can you zoom quite far in, or?
Well, I can, but like.
But then you sort of lose all the. I guess you got to follow the thread, but then it's hard to follow the thread.
Oh, actually, hang on a second. I just realized it changes on the right-hand side when I click on it. Fog of War.
Oh, there it is.
Using the pattern. So they've tried to trick us into reading a slab of text by putting a snazzy little diagram on the left-hand side. I see what they're trying to do. And they've made this nicer as well. So this is... yeah, so they've used a different set of, is it CSS, a different CSS theme here to make it look a bit more, a little bit better than this, a little bit better than that one.
Just a bit better, yeah.
So yeah,
Still
from the
lots
eyes,
of
great.
text.
Yeah, still plenty of text.
I don't really see how this is helpful. Like, what is Fog of War? What are those? What's that connected to?
Fog of War is connected to. Oh goodness me! It's not even. Oh,
Tile,
yeah. See, it's not very clear, is
tile
it?
laying, uncertainty of information. That's the obvious one. Secret resources. Gain information. Like, I think you said it before, and it feels like a dictionary in the sense of like.
Yeah.
If you didn't know anything, I guess this would be a good resource to jump in and just be like, what is Fog of War? What does it relate to? And maybe it does sort of provide some insight to things that maybe that you didn't think about, and connections that it could have. But short of that, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not really sure that this...
Feels like a taxonomy on games, which is very, very hard to do.
Well, also they're trying to do it for all games. All games.
As we've
all
seen.
games.
All games.
That's like a tax. I mean, if you think really 3D first-person games are simulations. Simulations. So that would be equivalent to me wanting to do a taxonomy of everything in the world.
Yeah,
because you can simulate anything. You can simulate anything in a 3D environment, and like, oh, okay, yeah, let's just do that. So I think that's one of the problems, is that they're just trying to do too much. If you
sounds like this is where your PhD needs to come in, Chris, and you can set up some amazing things on just maybe not just a 3D environment, but just a 3D shooter or just a 3D walking sim.
Yeah, well,
where we can really focus on each aspect.
It's already started. I'm already doing it. So
hell yeah.
You can't get away from text to a degree.
Yeah, of course.
Text. I mean, you need, but I think. So what I'm trying to do is create a language for game design, and but when we talk about language, so language being really anything that sort of conveys meaning. So that can be diagrams, that can be text, that can be even video, audio, images. So really the whole thing in a sort of a hierarchical kind of format. And that's what I'm trying to do, is give like a high level view of games, so that particularly so designers can understand them, because when you're thinking about, when you're doing sort of design, actually this is something we haven't covered, which we might talk about later, is actually how design thinking kind of works, how designers, whether you're doing a game design or you're doing a designing a building or designing a website or an image or a diagram, there are certain things that sort of happen in a designer's mind, and part of that thing is actually very difficult to define, because there's this sort of jump. I don't know whether you've experienced it, but what happens with me quite often is that I will be working on a problem, in a game, and I'll be like potentially kind of stuck. And I'll do as much as I can. I'll work really hard. I'll try and sort this problem out. And then it's just like, it's too hard. And I walk away and I spend some time away. And then all of a sudden, I can be like lying in bed, just half asleep, in the morning before I get up. And the answer just comes. So I don't know, have you guys experienced things like that?
Yeah. Yeah, that's like programming 101 for me.
So that's when it comes to design and creativity, that's part of it. And it's not, it's that is very, very hard to define. We don't understand.
Yeah.
We don't understand why is it that, you walk away and then that answer comes. So there was early 20th century German psychologists created this thing called Gestalt psychology. Have you ever come across that? Gestalt psychology.
I can't say I'm familiar with it though.
It's very common. A lot of the stuff, it's about perception particularly.
Mm-hmm.
And they talk about the whole being greater than the sum of its parts. You've probably heard that.
Yeah.
So that's a bit like saying, if you were to disassemble a human being, put them on the floor, that's a very different thing to when you look at all the parts compared to, say, looking at that someone maybe who was your friend or you had a relationship with. That whole of a person, or you can say a game or whatever it is, has more meaning to you than the sum of its parts and the bits and pieces kind of collected there. Mm-hmm. And so this whole idea of what they call holism. The thing with designers, what we're trying to do is we're trying to take parts and restructure those parts to create another whole, which has a different kind of meaning to it. But as designers, we need to think both as the whole. So we need to think about the meaning and the meaning to our game players, but also at the same time we need to think about the parts because we are communicating that to our development team.
Which almost sounds like an impossible task.
Well, I've got a solution. I've got a solution, which I think I've shown you a little bit before, but it's beyond today. It's something I'll show you at some other time. But
well, to me, that's like the whole is the player experience, right? That's what you're designing for.
Yep. Yeah. Absolutely. Or in the MDA model, it's the aesthetics. So we talk about aesthetics is the player experience. Very difficult to define. Player experience is very difficult to define. But we need to build our game out of mechanics, which are the pieces or the building blocks of the game. So as a designer, we're thinking at the one time about what player experience we want the player to have, which is this aesthetic. So it might be, if we think of your Sam, those games, your Kafka-esque games, that's a very good example. I think of something that's quite difficult to, if you went to a program and said, I want a Kafka-esque kind of game, they'd look at you and go, what are you talking about? So what you need to do is you need to take that player experience, that Kafka-esque type game, I think is a great example, and you need to then, as a designer, provide your production team with information, the type of information on the mechanics or the parts of the game, so that they can actually go and build the game which goes and creates that player experience. So it's a very challenging thing to do.
Yeah, definitely defining the path.
For my case, I'd probably suggest for that sort of hands-on experience, I'd probably tell them to call Centrelink and sort of how it makes them feel. Sort of designed for that sort of experience.
Right. That's nasty.
What you guys thought about the player experience when people call you?
Anyway, yes. So that's the big challenge. And, so looking at...
Working back from the feeling.
Working back from the field. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But, that's the challenge we face. And I think it's quite interesting just looking at what we've looked at today. So, I mean, this sort of stuff doesn't catch any of that. You know, I'm not sure what it's trying to do, but I can't see anything here of the aesthetics or even the mechanics. I'm not quite sure what these game design patterns really capture. On the other hand, if we think of Machinations does a really good job at doing one thing really well. You know, it's modeling game economies. It's fairly, you know, it's yeah. I mean, it does this thing and it does that one small thing, does it really well. You couldn't design an entire game using Machinations, but you can design the economy, and obviously that's caught on in the industry, and they're doing really well. They're getting funding. They've got a website. I'm assuming that they're still going. They have a product to sell and stuff like that. So yeah, so there's. I think this is a good example of, you know, if you can do something which is useful, even if it's a small part of the puzzle, the industry will take you up on it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The dev tools.
Going back to that,
we all want things that help us, you know, be creative.
We need them.
Yeah.
If it helps us be creative, it helps us.
To the
Yeah.
Yeah, that taxonomy. I think they've missed a really good opportunity to, you know, sort of see exactly how the individual parts sort of make up the whole. Because when you clicked on one of the nodes, you could sort of drag it about, but you couldn't really. You couldn't really sort of identify where they connect up with other sort of different abstract ideas.
Yeah. It's too complicated. Like, it's not even a complicated diagram. It's too complicated.
Yeah. I mean, why didn't they just make it so when you clicked on one, they changed the color of the nodes to white, and sort of faded out the other ones?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think it's.
It moves as you drag. Like, that's just chaotic.
Yeah, it doesn't help. This one, yeah, there's they could do it differently to make it more obvious. But look at the same. You know, it's the problem to me though is they're trying to sell this, and I don't know that this is particularly useful for designers anyway. Like, I'm not too sure, like what you can do with this. Maybe as I said before, maybe as an academic thing, it's quite useful, but for designers, I can't see designers using it compared to Machinations, where designers are using this as a tool. It's a little tool, does something really well, makes life easier, can potentially save money, because you can use that to work things out, work your economy out before committing to code and stuff like that. So it does that really well. So I think we need to remember that. Anyway, we've gone well over our time.
Oh, not so far, but over.
10 past. That's 10 minutes.
10 minutes.
10. Yeah, it's 10 minutes of our lives, which we'll never get back. Anyway, let's wrap that up. Let's wrap it up there. Thanks, guys, for coming along. Hopefully next week we get Fraser as well. It's been so sad.
Full house.
Yeah,
it's been so sad doing this without Fraser.
Yeah, empty little spot on the screen. I can see where he should be.
Down the bottom, where he belongs. Down the bottom. All right, guys. All right. Thanks, everyone. Thanks anyone who commented, and we'll catch you guys all next week.
Thanks, everyone. See ya.
See you then. Bye.
Cheers. See ya.